Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new settlement build in fixing up the Commonwealth. You can see we're at County Crossing today and yeah, we have a bit of an issue. That wall, I don't know what's going on with that wall, but I cannot get rid of it. Very strange. Anyway, I have had some issues with Fallout 4, which meant I had to completely reinstall it. So today we are going to go through and we're going to do something completely different with fixing up the Commonwealth today. And we're going to build something that I actually haven't done before. And once we've got that built, we'll see what else we will build around it, but it's going to be a very big single building, and I'm not going to say too much. I know it's very cryptic and very mysterious, but that's the way I like it. So let's get in the build menu and clear out County Crossing. So this is going to be one of those builds where I want to build something that looks as though it should be there. You can see I've relocated all those map fruit over there. I accidentally delete a power pole out of this. The weird thing about this is I can't walk through it. It's solid, that wall, but I can't attach anything to it. I can't attach foundations to it, and nothing that will allow me to move it. So we're going to build in this area here, and it's going to be a very large structure. And what I will tell you is it's very much influenced by Fallout 76. And if you have been observant on the Discord server, you will understand, or you will have seen what I end up building here, but I'm not going to say any more than that. And it's one of those builds that I start. I have a reasonable idea of what I want to do with it, and yeah, we just start building, and it, you know, when you're doing stuff like this, it's not always clear exactly how the building is going to go together, and there's a lot of that in this video. I don't know how many build videos this will take. It'll probably take 2 or 3. I would say probably about 3 at least to complete, with a lot of editing in between. And it does throw up a heck of a lot of issues for me as we go through this build. So we're going to get a foundation in, just trying to figure out how wide this can be. You can see this guy's, look, he's confused, so I've got to get him out there. I've got to reassign him in a second, and then we can get on with the building process. So that's good. He has been reassigned. He's going to attend to his map fruit. As you can see, I put them over by the shack that was here. And I'm going to start building the foundation now. I'm going to leave this in because I want a couple of ramps, and I want to make this area up here a little bit higher. But I want to show you something that's possible that you might not be aware of. So we're just going to start chucking foundations down. But what you can actually do with these foundation blocks is you can do this. See? And it actually works to the same height. Now I'm going to take that one out because, as you know, with Fallout 4, it's all about the build order. Put those in, and then I can put that ramp back in when I get a minute, like that. I'm going to use, for this build, I am going to use pretty much exclusively snappy house kits. Actually snappy house kits and stairs, ladders and ramps from the master plan. Those are the 2 mods you're going to see the most in this build. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, how does that happen? Oh, okay. Yeah, it wasn't snapped properly in. And we're going to build this bottom area, and then the rest of the building is going to be built on an upper level. Now, this is one of the things that causes a lot of problems in this this build. So if you're into building a big, large, single structure with multiple levels, keep watching. Even if you're not, keep watching. There we go. So that's good. And so now we're going to see how big we can get the actual area up, the main area, which is going to be up here. See if you can guess what we're about to build as well, and leave some comments down below. It may well become obvious. I'm going to try my best not to let you in on the secret for as long as I can, but I think it's going to become fairly obvious pretty quickly, and as we start chucking down these foundation blocks like this. So it's a large area in County Crossing. Don't do that to me, please. It's a large area in County Crossing, and it's probably one that I haven't seen anybody actually build too much like what I'm about to do here. So there is going to be a structure right there, very large structure. We've got 1, 2, oh, well, guessing about 6 or 7 length and about the same width. So it's quite a large structure. And having started this building, I now have complete admiration for the developers of the Fallout games, because when you are actually in the game and playing them and immersed in them, you don't realise quite how big some of these buildings are. So we're going to put these ramps in here for now. As you will find with a lot of this build, lots of things are changed, lots of things are tweaked and moved around. And we will take you through those. It is a very challenging build, this one, but I think it's, when I say challenging, I think it's challenging in a good way. It actually makes me think about what I'm doing, and I do enjoy those builds where I really have to work hard to get the thing to come together. Very similar to, if you've seen my Asylum build, you would have seen that was a very large single structure. But boy oh boy, when we finished it, it looked fantastic, and I think you're really going to enjoy when we get this finished, just how good this looks and how presentable, not presentable, it's not the right word, but actually realistic, and how it fits into the kind of overall landscape of Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and looks as though it should be there, and that's what I'm going for in this build. Something that looks as though it has been there and been there for a while. So the other thing that happens in this build is I actually venture into snappy house kits a lot further than I've ever done before. A lot further. And I found a whole lot of things that I have never used before, and I'm pretty excited about now, actually, both for building purposes and for decoration. Actually, the whole lot of things that the mod editor or the mod dev has done a huge job at upgrading that mod. Now I know it caused a lot of dramas when he first updated it, and I had similar dramas. You know, the Asylum build is now gone. It's not gone, but it's in pieces now, because all the menus changed for snappy house kits. But boy oh boy, there's a lot more to play with these days, and I didn't think that was possible. One of the challenges I've always had with snappy house kits, and continue to have, is remembering where everything is. So it's no different in this new version, let me tell you. So we're going to use these brick walls. We do use another colour of brick wall in this build, but essentially they're all that very similar looking. And if you're building a big structure like this, and we've spoke about it before, my advice is to get some level of symmetry in. As you can see, I've put a kind of doorway, a window to the left and the window to the right, a doorway to the left, a doorway to the right, so that they kind of match up. I'm going to use this door here because it's a little bit offset, which I like, and then we'll put a window in like that, and that is the first part of the building, sort of, kind of. Now sometimes this happens with snappy house kits, where you just have to push these across and make sure that they snap together in the same line. You can see that's a little bit offset there, and I did toy with having that offset deliberately, but eventually I will fix those all up. Okay, yep, starting to come together. Have you guessed what it's going to be yet? Probably a bit too early still. Okay, what are we going to do next? What to do next? And the answer is we are going to do some speed building. So this is, I'm going to speed this up because this is basically just putting walls in. It's not really exciting. I mean, you've seen pretty much this ad nauseum. So I try something here. In the end, this doesn't work, but I've left it in just so you can see the kind of process I go through, trying to figure things out. Put those up there because now what I've got to do is I've got to match the height of these outside walls to that upper level. That's still annoying me, as you can tell. So what was I saying? Yep. So those, you can see that I want to match that upper level there. So I've put those half walls from the warehouse set in. They don't stay there. I'm now trying to figure out how to do this with the ramp. This all gets changed anyway, and actually we don't use most of this, but I've left it in. It's something that you can think about. It might help you with your own builds because you can see that has now matched the height of that wall off in the distance there with that kind of raised area. And that's some of the challenges you might come through in your own builds and need to solve. So you can now feel me thinking like heck about, okay, what do we do next? And we're probably going to chuck a whole lot more walls up in here and just frame it up. So that means much more speed building. Here we go. Put all the walls up. Not exactly entertaining entertaining television, but all the same, very necessary. So we have these corner blocks here that we can use, and we're just going to chuck walls in basically. So you can see there's an upper and lower level at the moment. There's a couple of areas that we've already put together here. Again, very, very important that you do things very uniformly. Yes, that's a word. You see, I'm putting this wall up here, and so I'll get rid of these warehouse walls now. Again, it is a difficult thing to do with different heights, but we do manage to do that fairly successful in this build. So I'm pretty pleased that we have so many challenges. So next thing I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to go to the master plan, stairs, ladders and ramps. It's the mod that I always get wrong. It's a bit like post support and the other thing. And I'm going to put a walkway up above. And for the smart ones in the bunch that are watching, this might give you a very big clue about to what we're about to build. Now, these are a bit, I'm going to say finicky, because that's the right word. That's why I'm going to say it. They're a bit finicky. I don't know why. The snapping can be a bit weird with them. Anyway, we get there. You just need to know how to kind of work with these sometimes. I don't know why they do this, but sometimes they you can see the single ones will snap, the big ones won't. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to bore you with that too much. We can do that, and we can put a little platform down, or we can use the other ladders and not bother putting up another platform. Not sure what I'm going. Oh, there we go. They'll work there. Oh, there we go. I like that. And all you need to do to kind of, you got to leave that space there so you can get up, but you can build around it. So we'll build at here or there, like that, and then you got to walk around there. We'll demonstrate that in a second. There we go. We can walk at and around, and it continues going that way. So here we go, and we'll put one more in there. A great little mod, this one. If you haven't played around with it, and you're looking for some alternative walkways and fire escapes and there's all kinds of stuff that we use in this this build actually. And no, great little mod, I love it. I've used it quite a bit now. Just lately you would have seen it at the slug build. We used it a little bit on the back of the apartments that and various other places. So here we go, we're starting to kick some goals. It is starting to get a bit dark, so I will try and brighten up the footage, but we will go and have a sleep in a minute. And if you're hearing any weird noises at the moment, that's because it's raining in Sydney after how many days did we have? We had like 4 or 5 days of over 40 degrees, and so it's a welcome relief, let me tell you. Here we go, done. Dun dun. And he said, let there be light, and there was light, because we went and had a sleep, basically. Jeez, that wall's annoying me. What had happened with that wall, just to explain it a little bit further, and we're just going to have a good look around the back here so you can see what it all looks like. I was using County Crossing as a kind of staging place for ideas. I was building things here, and I had a school perhaps built where that wall was, went to demolish it, and yeah, everything kind of stored okay or scrapped okay except that one piece. And I think what we're going to need is a update from Bethesda to fix it, because if you remember at the slug, we had the same issue at the slug with the chairs, and it seems to be since the that last patch or update that they put for the game, it caused a lot of issues. I actually had to, as I said earlier, had to reinstall, completely reinstall the game and all the DLC and all the mods, and you would have seen I had some issues installing the mods, which I've showed you a fix for now. And yeah, it was not a pleasant process, and the reason I reinstalled the game was basically because I couldn't fast travel. And in fact, it was when I was coming down here, I'd finished the raider camp. I tried to fast travel to County Crossing, and every time I tried to fast travel over here, it crashed the game. And so I decided to walk down to Greentop Nursery, and so I walked down to Greentop Nursery. That was all right. Got the quest from the residents there. Went to Dunwich Borers. Tried to fast travel back. Same thing happened. Fast travel wouldn't work. Tried to fast travel to Sanctuary. That wouldn't work. And so I ended up just getting very frustrated and saying lots of naughty words and one thing and another, and ended up biting the bullet and reinstalling the game. True story. So this is an industrial pack that comes with Snappy House kits. Not one I've used before with Snappy House kits, so I'm still trying to figure out all the pieces, and I'm going to have to go forward a little bit till we get this in the right place, because the pieces that I've just put in aren't the right pieces, and I have to do some major faffage to get this right. But before we do that, I'm just going to show you the main kind of idea we get here. And in fact, this is another thing that I changed, but just in case you want to use this kit, you can see everything kind of snaps together nicely, and the supports and whatnot. Now there is something weird that goes on when I come to decorate this. One piece, this piece here on the far right, I can place everything down on the floor. The other three pieces in this building would not allow me to place anything down, which is kind of sort of strange, but anyway, all good. So let's move forward to the tweak that I do. So here we go, we got it all sorted. It's all in where it should be. It's looking all right, and I think we will finish up there for the day, and when you come back we'll continue with the mysterious build. Thanks for joining us on Fixing Up the Commonwealth, and we'll see you next time on the channel. See ya.